Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video I'm finally going to let you in on what my new project pan is going to be. This is the third project pan I have created. Now this one is more created for just me, but if you do want to do it along with me, you're more than welcome. I'm not going to have a big sign up sheet and a playlist and all of that to add people into unless quite a few people join, because being like the administrator of a project pan can be quite time consuming. But let me know if that's something you want to do. Like, I'm willing to make the time, but if it's just going to be me and maybe like 2 or 3 people, then like creating spreadsheets and sign up forms and all that can be quite labor intensive. But I'm definitely willing to do it if people want to join in on this project, but it's not starting off originally as like a collab. I haven't reached out to anybody. I'm just going to put this video up on my channel, and if you would like to join, you can let me know. But yeah, that's enough rambling. I hope this intro is going to be pretty quick. Like I said, I created this project just for me. As you can see from the title of this video, I have named this project Clean Your Pans, because I am notorious for hitting pan on a product and not using it again for years. Like, not even to try and finish it or putting it in another project or anything like that, but like literally not using that product for years ever again. So I have quite a number of products in my collection that have like a little glimpse of a shiny pan in the center, never to be used again, and I really need the motivation to work on those. So this project is going to run from November 1st to May 1st. It is a 6-month long project. It is opposite my graveyard project pan, and that project will end, and then it will be in 5 products is what I'm choosing for the next 6 months to work on, not hitting pan, but to potentially finish, if that makes sense. I think that like pan progression pictures are so satisfying, and honestly, because my pans are so tiny for this first round, I honestly would be absolutely shocked if I had a true finished makeup product this time. But I'm not having that much pressure on myself. This is really low key. I will still be including usage goals just to see that pan expand a little bit and then continue to rotate, because I want to touch more of my makeup. A lot of the items that I've chosen today, like I mentioned, I hit pan and I put it away and I haven't used it since. Clean your pans is pretty self-explanatory. A product you already have pan on, and the goal is to expand the pan, clean the pans, have it empty at some point, but it is low-key. I'm not stressing about it. I just want to pull these products back into the forefront and show you that shiny pan expanding with each update. I don't know if I want to do every other month, just like Graveyard Project Pan, or if I will update this monthly. You can leave me your suggestions down in the comments below. But that's enough rambling from me. I'm going to pull up my spreadsheet. I have it organized by the year and like the order in which I hit pan. So the only product I hit pan on in 2018 was my L'Oreal True Match powder, which is so close to being done and is in my Graveyard Project pan right now. I'm filming this intro and putting it up earlier than November 1st so that you have a chance to join in if you so choose. If that is not finished for my Graveyard Project pan finale, it will just automatically go into this one because it is so close to being finished. Of the 9 products I hit pan on in 2019, 2 have since been decluttered, so I have 7 products from that year to choose from. Firstly, so hit earliest in that year, I don't have the actual dates written down. I hit pan in my IBY Highlight and Contour palette in the shade highlight too. I actually have a double pan showing. I will obviously have a close-up here. So my goal will be to attempt to finish this in the next 6 months. Also get used to some of the other shades. I'm not saying I'll be able to hit pan on any of the other shades. There's not really a dip in any of them. But just, you know, continue using this palette. And if I could have one empty pan in here, I would feel really good about that. I've used this maybe once or twice since hitting pan on it in 2019. So it definitely needs to be pulled to the forefront again. So this is an under eye setting powder. It's a little bit dark for me in the winter months, which is what we are heading into. So I think I'll be setting my face with this. If my L'Oreal True Match powder is not done, that will take precedence over this one. But that one should be finished up really quickly. After that, I hit pan on my Bare Minerals Duo powder and then the Rimmel Stay Matte powder. I'm not rolling potentially 4 powders into this project with only 5 products that I'm putting in currently, so I'll skip over those. We'll revisit them later. Next up, I have my ColourPop Super Shock Shadow in the shade Weenie. I am going to have a goal to use, I haven't decided on a number. So these products take me about 20 uses to hit pan on. I'm working on a ton of eyeshadows and I've hit pan on a ton of eyeshadows in my project panning career, and I want to kind of like cycle through them because I don't think I'm close to finishing any eyeshadows, and I know these Super Shock shadows are quite the commitment. So I don't know if I want to say another 20 uses on this. Maybe I can do 20 uses on all of the eyeshadows and cycle through them and then like come back around just to see the pan expand slowly, especially when they're still like this full. I mean, if I have less than half of an eyeshadow left, I will power through to get it finished, but many of my eyeshadows just have a hole like drilled down into the center, like many of us. So let me know what you think would be a suitable usage goal. I'm thinking 20 right now because this took about 20 to hit pan on. I actually hit this pan in 2020 in the Mission 100% Cruelty Free project pan. This is my Nars Laguna. This is just a mini and I've only used this I think once or twice since I hit pan on it. It's very thin in there. I wore it down pretty evenly. My goal on this will again be to finish it. I don't know if I actually can finish this in 6 months, especially it's again a deeper shade for me. I mean, it works for me all year round. I just need to use like a lighter, fluffier brush with it. But I want to try. I want to see how much progress I can make on it at least in 6 months. And then, I mean, all these products would technically qualify for the Graveyard Project pan anyways. So when this project ends and the Graveyard Project begins, I could still be working on these products, no problem. I just wanted a project dedicated to cleaning my pans. I have 2 eyeshadows left that are in palettes. So after the ColourPop Super Shock Shadow and Weenie, I actually hit pan on my Urban Decay Gwen Stefani palette. I've already used that 30 times this year. It was my Joker product in Deck of Panning, so I think I've used that palette enough for this year. I mean, unless it gets rolled into another kind of roulette type project, but I'm not going to put it in this project is what I'm getting at. And after that, I hit pan in my Buff Collection palette from Pure Cosmetics. This is a dupe of the Naked 3 and I actually really like this, but I've only used this once since hitting pan. It took me like 75 uses to hit pan in the shade Quartz here. So again, I'll insert a picture of what that's looking like. Again, I have a double pan in there. That's very interesting. My goal will obviously be to expand that pan, but similarly to the contour palette, also just use more of this palette. I don't have any dips in any of the other shades, though I have used all the shades in this palette, I believe. but none of them have dips. So this is kind of like a brow bone or inner corner highlighting shade. It is a satin. I mostly used it to set my lid when I did hit pan on it, though I didn't really enjoy doing it that way because it's not a matte cream shade. It definitely has some shimmer. So I want this to expand, and I think I'll go with the same usage as Weenie. I want to use this palette 20 times and see how much I can get that pan to grow. And lastly, I can't believe I'm voluntarily doing this to myself, but you guys wanted to know how many times I've used this palette in my Project 100 uses, my NYX Ultimate Brights palette. And I've used this over 50 times in my collection. And in 2019, I hit pan on the shade 7, which is the pink. So I do have a pan in this palette. Because this has shown its rainbow face in Project 100 uses, I'm committed to using it 100 times, as I want to eventually use all my palettes 100 times. But I'm going to use this 20 times in this project. And again, focusing in on that shade, but also using the rest. See how much I can get that pan to grow. See, this project is like pretty loosey-goosey, okay? I just think it's going to be fun. Eventually, when I do have, I don't have any pans and a highlighter. The only blush I have pan in, I used 113 times recently to hit that pan. It needs to just go to bed in my drawer for a little while. I don't want to use that right now. So I have a powder, I have a bronzer, and all that really leaves me is eyeshadow. I'm just really excited to start a new project pan. I'm excited that this is my third project pan that I have created. Obviously, this is not a revolutionary concept. People have had projects meant for products you've already have pan on already, I am sure. But this one is kind of just for me. But obviously, like I mentioned in my intro, you can join me if you want, but it's not really going to be like the Graveyard Project Pan or Deck of Panning, where I felt like really proud and innovative with those projects. And this one was just like, for me personally, I kept like looking at my list of products I've hit pan on. I'm like, wow, I never used those, because for me, hitting the pan is the part that feels really good. And while I would love for my makeup inventory to lower by finally using up this tiny bronzer, etc., that seems more daunting to me than having put this in a project to hit pan on it in the first place. Does that make any sense? So I feel like I've been all over the place. To recap, 6-month-long project pan starting on November 1st. I have put in a powder from a contour kit, a mini bronzer. My eyeshadows are going to be 20 uses and then move on to the next one. I believe, again, you can leave your feedback in the comments down below, but that's what I'm thinking right now. I have a ColourPop Super Shock in the shade Weenie. I have a rainbow palette, as well as like a rosy neutral palette. And I'm excited. I think once I see pans expanding and me getting closer to the goal of having an empty someday, I will feel more motivated to do that more often, but I definitely need this project to kick my butt into gear. Let me know your thoughts on this project down below. I hope you guys will enjoy at least watching me on this journey, even if you don't join yourself. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up so that I know. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye!